compact crossovers come in very distinct flavors. Some are geared towards the most pragmatic shoppers. Cargo capacity is generous, fuel economy is strong, and there's typically ample feature content for an affordable price. On the other end of the spectrum, however, are crossovers aimed at buyers who are more concerned with fun than functionality. With these picks, utility isn't the focus. Instead, they're primed to deliver outstanding performance that makes them engaging partners on the road. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2015 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. Now, essentially, for the 2015 model year, the Outlander Sport gets a few minor sheet metal and cabin upgrades, better sound insulation, and an upgraded electric power steering system. There's also an upgraded continuously variable transmission that brings fuel economy improvements. Now, essentially, we're still in the first generation of the Outlander Sport, and it came out in the 2011 model year. Now, basically, the Outlander Sport is a more fuel efficient and a smaller packaged version of the regular Outlander. Now here goes the key fob for the vehicle. Pretty decent looking key fob, however it's not switchblade. At least it doesn't look too cheap. But you do have your unlock, your lock, and then your panic button. Now as far as styling goes on the vehicle, compared to the regular Outlander, I don't find it to be any more sportier than the regular Outlander, even though it has sport in its name. But it does have a slightly more aggressive design than the current generation Outlander. Now it is a mercury gray exterior color with a full-on black cloth interior. Full manual driver's seat adjustments here. Now stepping on into the vehicle, the step-in height is fairly low. It is a compact crossover, so that's to be pretty much expected here. But it's an okay looking cabin design. It's not the best I've seen, however. It does look a little bit Spartan in here. And what you're hearing is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Now, your base transmission is actually going to be a 5-speed manual, but we have the optional CVT automatic, which you will find in most Outlander Sports. It does have a manual shift gate here, but no paddle shifters, which you can get on the regular Outlander. No backup camera either, which a lot of compact crossovers are making standard nowadays. But let's go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Automatic driver's side window. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Side turn signal indicators, and you do have 18-inch alloy wheels. Halogen projector beam headlights. I guess the Mitsubishi trapezoidal grille looks okay. Now under the hood here, you have a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine producing 148 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 145 pound-feet of torque at 4,200 RPM, with EPA estimates being a pretty healthy 25 in the city and 32 on the highway. Now 4-wheel drive is optional on the Outlander Sport, and basically if you do get the 5-speed manual, actually fuel economy numbers will drop compared to this CVT automatic we have here. It used to be back in the old days, if you got the automatic transmission, fuel economy would drop, you would get higher fuel economy numbers if you got the manual transmission. But nowadays, if you get the automatic, you actually get better fuel economy numbers. However, I will say that it does have pretty modest acceleration, and it isn't really that powerful. Now, competitors of the Outlander Sport, you have some in the subcompact crossover segment, and then some in the compact crossover segment. Now, some in the subcompact crossover segment, you have the Nissan Juke, the new Honda HR-V, as well as the new Chevrolet Trax. Now, some in the compact crossover segment to consider is the Ford Escape, as well as the Toyota RAV4. However, those vehicles are a little bit larger than this Outlander Sport here. Now, pricing of the Outlander Sport is pretty simple. You have 2 trim levels and then some packages. Now, the base trim level is going to be the ES trim, which starts at $19,595. And then you have the SE, which starts at $22,795. Now, total vehicle price for this particular one, I know you can't really see it, but it's $25,190. Coming to the rear, you have LED tail lamps, rear window defroster with a rear window wiper, and an LED third brake light. And rear reflectors too. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities here. It is 2015. Power windows, power door locks, and power exterior mirrors. Nice soft touch armrest that is wrapped in cloth. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Pretty nice. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of this vehicle here, now up here on the upper door panel, it is slightly soft to the touch and it has a decent graining to it. And then you have a nice soft touch armrest that's wrapped in cloth, but that's where it pretty much ends with good materials. Up here, all hard touch, and it does have a pretty budget, low cost feeling. Up here, down here on the armrest, it is also hard to the touch, and you can kind of hear it that it's really hard too. Not soft to the touch at all. Pretty disappointed there. And then overall, this interior is very Spartan looking, and it doesn't have a rich feeling that a lot of compact crossovers tend to have nowadays. Now, coming to the steering wheel design, it's also pretty basic looking. You have your cruise control buttons on the side right here, steering wheel mounted audio controls, voice recognition, and Bluetooth. Coming down here, you have all of your AC controls, your temperatures, fan speeds, and your different zones with your rear window defroster. Down here, you have your cup holder and a 12-volt power outlet. And then down here, you have more cup holders. And then down there is where you will find your USB port, and then another 12-volt power outlet. And then e-brake is also located right here. Coming to your main head unit here, pretty basic looking radio system. You have your presets right here, and then your different media. You have Bluetooth streaming audio, and then your USB port, optical disc drive. And then also, this is your volume button, and then your tune and scroll knob, and then you also do have a digital clock right there. But overall, it's pretty basic. And then AM and FM too. Up here you have your manual dimming rearview mirror, interior illumination lighting, and then intermittent windshield wipers too, of course. Now, coming to the gauges, this is actually probably the best part I like about the interior, or maybe even the whole entire car at that. But I really do love the white illumination around them, and then as a really crisp and clear look to them. And then I really do love the speedometer too and the red needles. And then coming to your center screen right there, I also do love that, but it's going to show you pretty basic information. It's a little LCD screen right there. And then it shows you your fuel economy range, and then your fuel gauge, and then your exterior temperature readout, average fuel economy data, and then also your average speed, and then your trip odometer. But pretty basic, but I just love the way it looks. Now, as far as visibility goes, it's pretty mediocre. The A-pillar is slightly thick, and once you get to rearward visibility, that's where it really gets hard to see out of. And our car does lack a backup camera for $22,000, and then the seat pillar back there is pretty thick. Now when it comes down to it, the 2015 Outlander Sport just doesn't feel very sporty. The 2-liter engine provides enough power for everyday errand running, but if you spend a lot of time in expressway traffic, you'll likely wish for quicker acceleration, especially in models with the CVT. That transmission design also results in more engine noise than you'll experience in other competitors. Even with the sporty-looking 18-inch wheels and tires, the Outlander Sport's handling isn't especially sharp, and rival crossover SUVs feel both more athletic and more refined. The Mitsubishi's soft suspension tuning does make for a smooth ride, however, which gives the Outlander some appeal on longer commutes and road trips. But overall, like I said, if you're looking for a more functional interior that you can use on the daily, this is probably your interior here. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the Outlander Sport. I do love how it says, "See you" at the end. And then let's go ahead and check out the cargo capacity as well as the rear seat leg space. Now, at least these rear seats do fold down. However, compared to compact crossovers, this is much smaller. This is more on par with subcompact crossovers in terms of its cargo capacity. Now, as far as materials go in the rear, it's okay. It still follows through for the most part. Still nice soft touch cloth armrests. Now, sitting back here, it's more on par with a subcompact crossover like the Chevrolet Trax or a Honda HR-V here. But you do have a single map pocket, and then at least a rear center armrest with cup holders. But overall, it's not very spacious feeling such as like a Honda CR-V. Full manual passenger seat. Glove box. Just slams right down, it's not damped. Alright. So, the Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is outclassed by other small crossovers that are either more practical or more fun to drive. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.